What's up, everybody? James Catato checking in from Churchland High School, a beautiful Churchland basketball court. Because, of course, our special guest for today on this edition of Sportswrap Sit-Downs is Stephen Diesel Whitley. He would be a former player at Norfolk State, a homegrown product. You went to Booker T. You're from Norfolk, a former assistant coach at Norfolk State. And now, for the second year in a row, you're putting on Home is Where the Heart Is, where the best basketball from the 757 comes here at Churchland, puts on a great show. So, first of all, we were talking about it off camera. Why this gym?
Oh, man. I mean, if you could see behind us, like, it's quality. I mean, and it's a great representation of the 7-5, like what we produce, the quality that comes from out of this area, man. So it was a no-brainer for me, honestly.
You know, when we talked about this event last year, it was the first time you ever put on Home is Where the Heart Is. And for the people who are at home that may not know what this is, tell them about it. Why did you want to do it? What drove you to want to do this? I know that you were in Breonte Weber's crib in Charlotte when you kind of saw for the first time a little run in Philly on TV, and that kind of gave you the inspiration for this. But tell the people at home, what is this about?
So really, man, you know, I'm very community driven, and you know, everything I want to do, man, is just be able to put my community in a better place than before I found it. You know, we haven't had a pro team here since the 1970s with the Virginia Squires. And last year, I actually had a chance to be able to link up with them, talk to a lot of them, connect with them, and kind of get their values on their era and what they felt like they meant to the area back in the day, man, and the impact that they had, man. So in honor of that, I wanted to do the same thing, but with my flair. So being that I was connected, I am connected to a lot of the pros that's in this area. There's 40 plus of them from the NBA G League or overseas. I bought back 20 plus of them last year, split them up in teams, man, and put on a pro-like game for our area, you know, with proceeds of whoever the MVP of was last year from the dunk contest to the three-point contest, and the MVP of the game, man. We donated $1,000 back to their high school basketball program, man. So just wanted to do my due diligence, man, and bring, you know, some quality basketball, you know, to the 757 area.
I want to pull a quote that you put on social media last year. You said, "Everything I do is from the heart, it's with passion and love. I always strive to be the best I can be while giving more than receiving. I promise I'm going to leave this place better than I found it." And would you say that you live by that quote every day?
Every day. Like, you can check everything that I've done since I've been in high school, like, you know, give backs, you know, coat and blanket drives. Like, this is like really who I am. I'm so community driven, man, because like I really respect where I'm from. I really represent where I'm from everywhere that I go, because I know like just the backing of my community made me the person that I am. You know, so like Inky Johnson said, man, he wanted to leave his place, his hometown, better than I found it, and there was no other way for me to say the same thing, man. Like, I was like, yo, man, I want to leave my area better than I found it, man. So I'm trying to do everything in my power, you know, that I can and I can control to do that.
Experience the difference small classes make at Camp Community College. Fall registration is happening now. Classes start August 21st. Believe in your future. Invest in you. Grow with PDC. Visit pdc.edu/growmyfuture.
You talked about those OGs that kind of tapped you on the shoulder when you were in middle school,
right,
and kind of wanted to steer you in the right direction. Was that family? Was that outside of your family? Were those people in your hood? Like, who were those OGs?
Well, I mean, technically, you know, I go to sleep, you know, 8 hours of my day. I'm only in the house probably 8, 9, 10 hours maybe of my day when I'm young. Outside of that, we outside. We're at practice.
Yeah.
We're at school. So a lot of my family, like, they was my family outside of my real blood family. You know, that was really family. So that's what I looked at them as. Like, were they my bloodline? No, but you can't tell me anything differently.
Yeah.
So that's how I respected it. Like, they was my family, and I listened to them. Like, it was older heads that would be at the basketball court, that would be at our games, that would be like, you know, big brothers or sisters to some of my friends that get into that mess, man. And, you know, they would be the ones like, yo, man, you don't need to be doing all that, man. Go do something different. Go be yourself. Go to the basketball court. Go work out. Go home early. You don't need to be out here. Like, that's what they were, man. So to me, they were family.
Yeah. Who was your inspiration to create? Because it wasn't always just basketball. You always had this urge to want to give back, to want to create and show people what you're doing, what you're up to, the good that you're doing for your community. So who was your muse in that sense?
Me.
It was all you.
It was me, man. I like my mom worked 3 jobs with 3 kids, single mother. And I watched my mom go from a hard working woman, and she was getting it out the mud. Like, she was struggling, but she was making stuff meet. She bought her own house, own car, and she made things happen, man. And I realized, man, I was so like I don't really know how to describe it, but I was very aware of my upbringing to understand what I was in. A lot of kids just live.
Yeah.
I understood where I was at, what this meant, what my mom went through, the position of life we were in at a young age. So when my teacher used to ask me, "Yo, Steven, what do you want to do when you grow up?" I want to build a school for at-risk kids. That was at a young age. I want to play Division I basketball and build a school for at-risk kids, because I was one of them kids in that neighborhood that was at risk. Had I not had the right village and stuff like that, then my life could have been in a total different, trajectory than it is now. So it was me, man, just really realizing where I was at and being honest. And I was like, man, I want to make this better for the next youngin. And so, yeah, that's to be honest with you.
So let's dive into Home is Where the Heart Is now. So August 1st, you have a youth camp.
Yes.
Which, by the way, congratulations, you got it sponsored by
Yeah.
Dick's. That's awesome.
Yes, appreciate it.
And
Appreciate
then
it.
the second is something new on top of the pro showcase that was here last year. You're going to have high school athletes, some of the best, if not the best, high school basketball players in the area coming here in a showcase. Something that the 7-5 doesn't really have.
Right.
And I actually wrote down some of these players because, honestly, you got dudes like Keon Fats Mitchell. You got Damian Robinson, who's like a dog.
Yeah.
He's super young, right? Gavin Case, state champion. You even got Styles Clemens, right, who was at Princess Anne, but now is with Overtime Elite. You pulled dudes from all over the 757 that are now playing high school ball scattered around the country. I know you had a selection show. How do you pick 20 of the best players from both sides of the water?
Man, honestly, man, I'm still getting chewed out because it's a few players
I
that
would
people
imagine
think that, aren't in our selected roster, man. But I'll say this, man. If I could have them all, I would. And I feel like the Jordan brand feels the same way. I feel like McDonald's All-American game feels the same way. CP3 camp, Stephen Curry Elite camp. If they could have all the top 100, they would. But when you're talking about exclusivity, when you're talking about the top of the crop, it's just everybody aren't going to make it.
Right. Not everybody can get up in here.
Not everybody,
Right.
Everybody talks about all the time. Trae Young averages 30 and 10 almost every year. Everybody thinks he gets snubbed every year.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough spots. Is he probably good enough to be an all-star? Absolutely. But is there enough spots? No. So, and I wasn't the one that just helped with selecting these kids. It was a group of 12 coaches between universities and high school coaches that's in the area. And we had a long list of nominees. And then from there, man, we really chose which ones we felt like should be able to represent this area, man. And it's a great thing because it's different from just a senior showcase, right?
Yep.
You see those everywhere, right? But we got kids that, like you said, Damian Robinson, freshman.
Yep.
Styles Clemens, he's at Overtime Elite.
Which is,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's a freshman, that's a senior guy. It's a whole range, man. We got every class being represented as highest fashion, man. So, in a sense, that's the difference, man. Like I said, just to being able to have the free youth camp with those younger kids, 9 to 13, these high school rising stars coming back to be able to give back to these youth camp kids, and in the same token, these pros playing.
Yeah.
Once were high school kids, and these high school kids once were younger kids, and they was looking up to the pros, right? So it's just a circle, a full circle moment, and it brings a flow through Home is Where the Heart Is, man, to be able to bridge the athletic success and have these guys combine, man, and hopefully be able to keep this ball rolling with success rolling through this area.
Well, and I want to touch on what you said about the senior showcases and how it it almost sometimes limits the product, right? Because I heard stories about Damian Robinson, a guy like that, for example, who beat his brother one-on-one last year for the first time, and his brother plays ball at Boston College.
Oh, he's crazy.
He was one of the best players in the ACC last year.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So you really get a sense of like, all right, this is a full field of the best guys. Why was it so important for you to not just have seniors and to have it be truly the best guys?
Because I want it to be different. Like, it's important for me. Like, I stepped in this platform to be different. Like, I left coaching at Division I to be different. Everybody thought I was crazy, right? Like, a young Division I college coach coming, coaching underneath the umbrella of which he played at. He has a solid foundation. He has a real future in coaching. But that wasn't my passion and vision. God gave me a vision of being creative. So, like, this isn't just a pro game that I had. Like, last year, like, every pro had a professional contract that played in my event, maybe but one, right? You don't see that here. I mean, pro-ams, no knock to no pro-ams, but that's not how that works. You got D1 guys that come and play. You got junior college guys. You got some guys that, just come in and sign. That's not how that works, right? So doing that is different. Senior showcases, again, you take away from the quality of pickings. Damian Robinson just got Arizona State, got Virginia Tech, right? Papa just got his Division I offers coming in. From the last live period that he had, Kelvin Anderson. So it's like, to be able to have the best represented on the court, we're talking about high school rising stars. Who's going to be the next Cam Thomas? Who's going to be the next Dorian Finney-Smith, the MVP from last year, Joe Bryant? And you really can't do that if you're going to limit just the class of seniors, man. So I want it to be different. Like, we always have stuff for seniors. Man, let's throw all the best talent on the floor regardless of class, and let's see who really get after it and who the best.
So I want to touch on what you mentioned about how you left your position at Norfolk State to really pursue this.
Right.
You love this.
I love this.
You want to wrap your arms around this. And a lot of people did get on you for leaving that position at Norfolk State. Right. I mean, Norfolk State just went to the NCAA tournament last year. Norfolk State kind of held Florida a little bit in that first half before they went in the locker room, and then we know what happened, right? But, I mean, those are the national champions.
Right.
Like, Norfolk State was competitive. They had a roster. Right. You were a catalyst of that roster. What was your first gut instinct last season to want to step away? What were those conversations, like those inner conversations of, I think this is what is right, and I'm going to trust my gut?
It took me, like, Norfolk State, I owe a lot to Norfolk State. Like, it took me, when I sent my resignation letter in, I don't tell nobody this, but it took me about 15 minutes to hit send. Like, and I've thought about this plan, like, I've thought about it, how I was going to go about it and all that. But I just knew it was no better time, than do it while we're on a high horse. And the vision that I had behind it. It took me about 15 minutes to hit send, man, because, like, I was a part of that whole transition, and nobody can take that away from me. And, from being a player, outside of 2012, I'm talking about Coach Robert Jones' era. I was a part of that whole era of his transition. The only one that played was a player and a coach. Coach Lynn was a manager when I was a player. So I was there through all the upbringing, the turnaround, all of that, from a youngin' all the way to a man. So when you talk about change, like swallowing the pill of how hard this can be, and I know where Norfolk State wanted me to go within the program, like the visions that they had for me, man, it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made. But I feel like it was probably the right decision that I made in my life, because I know where my heart is, man. Like, I can't, like I was telling Jones and Coach Brown and Coach CJ, like, as a man, like, you can live with trying and failing, but I can't be later on down the line like, what if? Like, I have to try now while I'm young. Yeah. I got to try to go for it, man. And it's one of those things where I can always, if something don't work, I can get back. But I know if I put my right energy and everything into this, and expanding on this, because it's not just this summer event, which a lot of people think. I really have time now that I could really dive into some other things, but if I really put my all into this, like I know I can, just like I've done when I was a successful basketball player, I was a successful basketball coach, I know I'll be successful in this business.
You got emotional talking about Norfolk State, and I know that that's a place that means a lot to you. I mean, you grew up in Norfolk. You grew up knowing the green and gold.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's still always going to be a part of your life. Like, Robert Jones' son is playing in your game.
Yeah, man.
You know? I mean, like, do you take a step back and think that, like, all right, no matter what happens, like, I'm always going to be green and gold?
And they know that. Like, my green and gold family know that. Like, you can't take that. There's no way you could take that from me, man. Like, I won't say I had one of the most dominant careers in Norfolk State history, but I do have one of the most memorable careers in Norfolk State history.
Yeah.
Like, Diesel's name is known in Norfolk State history as a player, as a coach. Like, and you can't take that from me. Like, and you know, it's credit to those guys, like, putting me in those positions. Like, Coach Jones opening the door for me to come and be a player. For Coach CJ, that was my high school coach, you know, making that call when I was about to commit to A&T and saying, yo, you need to come over and play for me. You know, credit to those guys, man, for seeing the vision and the road map to success through the Norfolk State culture for me, man, and push me in that avenue. Like, everybody just knows Diesel as Norfolk State, Norfolk State, Norfolk State. But everybody don't really know Diesel at the heart of what Diesel really want to do. So I get emotional because, like, yes, it's been my identity for so long and I've poured so much into it. But I got so much more that I can pour.
So you said nobody knows Diesel's heart.
Right.
What is Diesel's heart?
This, like, community, like, being of service, like, giving back the knowledge, giving back, like, the quality of information, helping kids out. Like, that's my heart. My heart is basketball. My heart is business management. And my heart is community, man. So being able to combine those three things and make a business out of it, you know, and be in a space that I love to do, that's my heart. That's where I want to be at, man. The number one thing on my affirmations list is I just want to travel, plan events, and make money for myself and the community. And I feel like I'm in a great space and, you know, mindset-wise and area-wise to be able to make that happen.
I think one thing that I find really interesting about your event that's coming up is the fact that you have the Clash of the Spartans. Right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that we get two MEAC players of the year in Jamari Thomas and Joe Bryant, and they're going to go head-to-head in this game. Yeah. And you captioned it perfectly on your post. You said, there's been talk, right? Yeah. There's been hypotheticals.
Right.
Now we get to see it.
Right.
You know, I know Joe Bryant's a little further along in his professional career than Jamari Thomas. In fact, Jamari hasn't even started, you know? How excited were you when Jamari said, I'm going to pull up? Because you knew that Joe was going to come and make an appearance. How excited were you when Jamari said, I'm going to do the same?
Well, it goes back to when you were saying about me impacting the 17 and 18-year-olds when I first got into coaching. Like, I have real relationship with these guys. And Jamari was like, when Jamari came in, like, we worked out all the time. Like, we built real rapport. I'm young. So they didn't really look at me as no coach. They looked at me as a brother, a friend. So reaching out to them, to be honest, I knew what the answer was going to be. It's just a matter of if they're available or not.
Right.
Like, you know, so when he said it, I'm like, this is perfect, because it is those talks. Like, who's better? And, you know, we all know what Joe did for this area, what Joe did for the Norfolk State uniform.
Well, then Joe went overseas and won multiple MVPs in his leagues.
2 years overseas, 2 years MVP, and he's still doing it. And then you got Jamari, a guy that just came off a great year, great season at South Carolina. Prior to that, he was with us in Norfolk State being Player of the Year. He's very electric. I mean, it's the best headline that you can ask for as a Norfolk State basketball person, if you ask me. You know, who's the best, man? Who's the tail of the tail? So, you know, that's why I put it together. You know, I just felt like it would have been beneficial for Norfolk State community and to bring some of my culture and my love of Norfolk State back into the building of something that I want to do, man, and that I love doing, man, because it's always great to be able to see familiar faces. So,
like you said, pretty much everybody that you brought back last year was on a professional contract. By the time this drops, it's going to be really close to when the actual event is. So give us kind of an inside look, right? Who else might be pulling up?
Okay, so I got a profile finna drop, but we got some of the guys from last year: Matt Coleman, Xavier Green, of course Joe Bryan is going to come and make sure he takes that MVP home again. Some newbies we'll have this year is Shannon Evans from Nasman River, man. He played big-time ball overseas. Troy Williams will be in town this year, man, playing with us. Frank Cassell, he'll be playing with us, man. Jamari Thomas, of course, I mentioned. B.J. Fitzgerald is one that I'm not sure if a lot of people know about, but he's fun to watch in this type of basketball style game. He's in the one-on-one culture. He's an overseas basketball player, but I played with B.J. at Norfolk State. And then, B.J. ended up transferring to Virginia State. Now he's a professional basketball player, man. So you got those guys, and then, of course, we got other guys as well. But for the most part, those are kind of the headlines for now. I don't want to spill too much beans.
I got you.
I'm trying to wait until a couple of days before so people can be like, wow. But, yeah, we got some stuff coming.
Yeah. I got two more.
Talk to me.
All things considered, the whole thing of what we just talked about, what is your why?
Why? My why is my mom. Like, my mom showed me the ropes of if you put your mind to something, you can make it happen, regardless of the situation that you're the cards that you're dealt, the circumstances that might be prevented. Like, if you put your mind to it, you can make it happen. My mom has a nonprofit called Mothers on the Go, which basically is an exact replica of who she is as a person. Somebody that had to figure it out while she had kids. Somebody that had to continuously strive towards her dreams to make ends meet while she had kids growing up. And that, in a sense, is exactly why I do what I do. Like, I don't complain with what I have going on because she didn't complain. And if she did, we didn't see it, right? Like, so that's my why. And my why is also, man, just like I said, man, just leaving this place better than I found it. Like, I want to really scale this to being the biggest event that this basketball event that this area ever seen. Like, we don't have no pro game here, so I want to take this event to the scope one day, right? Like, I want to create our own all-star weekend. Like, I have a real vision behind it. All it takes is just real backing and support. I'm in that space right now where networks, connections, like, I have those. Like, I coached at that level. I played with these high-level guys. So bringing these top NBA guys or bringing guys back home to be able to create an experience, I know how to do that. It's really just being able to build a team and making those things happen, man. So even if we don't have a pro team here, we know every single year we can anticipate this moment at home is where the heart is. And we know that they're going to put on a real show, and we'll have at least one pro-like game while also combining our top high school players and bridging the gap with our youngsters, man. So that's my why.
Last one. Why do you love Hampton Roads?
Oh, man. I mean, it's my village, like, distinctively different. We're not, your highest tourist attraction area, but yet, a lot of people come here and, they feel like something rubbed off on them that they love about the area so much. And it's so funny because they'll tell you, like, there's something about this area, but I really don't know what it is. I can't really pinpoint it, but I love it, right? And that's just been, my outlook on this my whole life, man. If it wasn't for the Hampton Roads and everything that was made up, from with my life and, the path that I've taken and the people that I've met, man, I don't, like I said, I don't know what type of position I would be in mentally. Hampton Roads took care of Diesel. Every part of every city in Hampton Roads, man. I've had mentors from Suffolk. I've had coaches from Portsmouth and therapists from Virginia Beach and OG, like every piece. Like, I grew up in every piece, man. So Hampton Roads always will have a special place in my heart, and I'm always going to rep the 757 wherever I'm at. wherever I'm at, man, you're going to know that Diesel is from the 7-5. Like, you're going to feel it on me. You're going to feel it, man. So that's why I represent and I love Hampton Roads.
Hampton Roads took care of Diesel. Now Diesel is taking care of the next generation of athletes to come through Hampton Roads. August 1st, August 2nd, the second annual Home is Where the Heart Is. The best pro players to walk out of this place, the best high school players that are still making their way throughout this space. Stephen Diesel Whitley.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the time, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you.
We're excited to come out and cover it. But for now, I'm James Catato checking in for the Sportswrap Sit-Downs. We'll see you on the next one.
Sir.
Dope.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And he got me damn near about to cry up here, man.